everyone. Very early morning. We are at Christchurch Airport because we are about to start our trek. That's probably the only way to describe it, to pick up our van. So we're picking the van up from Auckland, so we're flying from Christchurch to Auckland today. It's Thursday, by the way, and it could be a really long day. The rough plan for the day is that we land, we get picked up by the people that we're actually getting the van from, so we get picked up by our van, which is really exciting, and then we're going to just give it a bit of a check over. So we get picked up by them, we go and look over the van before we transfer the last bit of the money, because we've already transferred the deposit, and then we go and do all of the papers to sign the van ownership into our names, and they release it into ours. That could be done at any point in time, but they're basically leaving tomorrow, so we sort of need to do it now. And then we're going to go have some tea at my old manager and friend's Tim's house. So he's staying with some family over in Devonport, so we're going to go over there. Really kindly they said we can come for dinner, and then after then it will just be a waiting game until the money gets transferred. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm excited, but I'm almost just expecting something to go wrong, which is so pessimistic of me. So yeah, I just hope we can navigate any stresses that come with. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a long day, I think. So I went to Coffee Culture. Cheers to a long day. So it's later on in the day now, and we are just not moving, and we're going into the centre of Auckland, and we've just done a huge chunk of our van transferring with the people that currently / previously owned it. We went and dumped all the wastewater and filled the water back up. They showed us everything we need to know about the van. Tom recorded it all, so for reference when we're struggling to get things working, we know how to do it because we can just look back at the videos. And then we've just been to the post office to change their vehicle ownership, so legally I own the van now. And now it's a waiting game because, like I said in the last clip, we transferred the money as soon as we saw that the van was okay, and now we're just waiting for it to go through. So we're thinking it might be another 6 to 8 hours or so. So we're going to go see some friends, have some dinner with them, and then come back and hopefully it'll be ours. But all in all, things have gone really well, and I feel a lot less nervous. I was so nervous earlier, but I feel a lot more relieved now that all of that stuff's been done and the van's in one piece, and yeah, sort of now excited for it to be ours properly. So we don't really know where we're going. We've just got off of the train at Brito Park. So it's down here, Tom. It's fairy lights. Anything with fairy look. No, it was nice. We are on the road and we have just got into Hamilton, and this is where we're going to have our lunch. So it's a really wide river just behind the high street, but yeah, I'll update you in a bit about how we've gotten on, because gosh, it's been one heck of a day since I last updated you. But we're going to sit down, have some lunch, relax before we get on the road again, and I'll show you a little bit more of Hamilton as well. Hello everyone, it is Friday today and so much has happened since the last time I picked up this camera properly. We got our van and now we are near the Tongariro National Park in the North Island. We've driven many kilometres today. I want to say maybe 300 kilometres to make it halfway down the North Island in our van. So it's just been a very, very intense couple of days, but all in all it has been so positive. Last night we slept at the side of a road, which was legal. It doesn't sound very legal, but it was, because we couldn't really get out of Auckland because we had such a long day. We were just really tired, so we slept or tried to sleep, and now we've driven to a proper campsite. So tonight we're just hoping for a little bit of a better night's sleep, and it was actually really, really sweet because the people who had the van last left us some wine, some New Zealand sparkling wine, so we've been drinking that this evening, had our first tea in the van, and all in all I don't think we've done too badly. A few minor little blips along the way, like just a lot of tiredness and a lot of feeling overwhelmed, but I think the more we settle into it, the more we will really love it. And we'll do a little bit of a van tour. Basically we're going back down to Christchurch now, and we've bought quite a few things for the van to make it look really, really homey, so I'll definitely show you a little bit more then, but you can see all the fairy lights that they used to put up by the past people who had it. We're gonna tuck up in bed, maybe watch some TV or read some books, do a bit of journaling, and then tomorrow I will try and sort of show you where we get to, because we're hoping to be in Wellington tomorrow night. Maybe what's left to know is that we had it good. Hello everyone, good morning. It is Saturday morning today, so happy weekend, and we have just left the campsite and driven for about an hour. We are heading down to Wellington today, so all in all it's around a 3-hour trip from where we started, which is the national park, down to near the port. So we've got our eye on a campsite tonight that we're going to stay at before catching the ferry tomorrow morning, and really just wanted to hop on and let you know that today things are going really well, feeling so positive. Woke up, Tom made me a coffee on the stove, used the gas, boiled some water. Actually I've been having it whilst we've been driving, because I suppose that's the benefits of like living and driving in the same place, you can just do that. We have just been on the road, like I said, for about an hour. Tom's doing the first sprint of driving, and then I'm going to take over as we get into Wellington. And yeah, just wanted to say that things are just going really well. Yesterday, definitely not so much though. So also wanted to caveat this with this time yesterday, gosh, I was tired, sleep deprived, never a good combination for me. Really headachy, just feeling quite overwhelmed, like how the heck are we going to drive this thing? What happens if something goes wrong, etc, etc. But after a really positive night's sleep last night, yeah, just feeling like a different person today. Also, I wanted to say that last night I saw the Milky Way for the first time ever. It was absolutely beautiful. We'd just cooked tea, we were just going to the toilet before we headed to bed, and I was the first to get out the van. I got out the van and I saw a few stars and I was like, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Looked up and the sky was just full of stars, like even like stars like so faint that they like turns white. I'm sure you've seen pictures of the Milky Way, but it was the Milky Way and it was incredible. So that happened last night and just made me really be like, gosh, this is just so incredible that we get to rock up at campsites like that and see those sort of views. So yeah, all in all, just feeling so blessed and lucky this morning that we get to do this. We're just on our way back from the centre of Wellington and we are so tired, but also very thankful because we stumbled across a super
Cuba Dupa.
Cuba Dupa. I was going to say super Cuba.
Cuba Dupa.
Cuba Dupa. Gosh.
Yeah, it is. It's the play on.
Yeah, I know, super duper.
And it was on Cuba Street.
I can't remember what way round it went though, but it was so cool. And we were just saying it was like the most eclectic, random, inclusive, varied festival. You say festival?
Yeah.
I've ever been to. Essentially, Cuba Street is just one long street through the middle of Wellington. It probably is like one of the main shopping streets, to be honest, I think. And I think just for this weekend only, they'd sort of done it up in like streamers, banners, loads of colourful stuff. They had food stalls out, they had raves in barber shops and like stages with like dancing and like dance lessons that everyone was joining in, like vibey tunes.
Yeah, there was like a whole mixture of genres. There was like drum and bass, there was like hip hop, then there was samba at one point.
Yeah, samba, 90s
like,
disco.
Yeah, 90s rave. And I did actually think, you know, with Cuba Street, I thought it was going to be a bit more like carnival-esque.
Latin.
Like Latin,
vibes.
but no, it had everything.
Everything. I wish that we'd have had some more time and we'd have like known that it was here, because if we had, we'd have like done it properly. Like, you know, people were getting drinks with reusable cups, like day drinking, was having a really good time. Clearly I was, as you'll see from the clips, people were dressed amazingly, festival gear. Exhibit A, I was not in the right attire at all. Tom looked a bit more vibey and cool. You could have fit into the barbershop raves, but not me. If you're ever in Wellington around this time of year, 100% go and check out when the Cuba Dupa festival is on, because yeah, it's a great day out. Yeah, we're just heading back now. I'll show you where we parked our van. It's in a car park tonight because we're getting the ferry very early tomorrow morning. This is where we are staying. So here's our campsite for the night. We're at Evans Bay Marina. So this is a freedom camping spot, which means that as long as you have one of these blue stickers, which I'll show you in a minute. Well, you can probably see it on this white van. There's a blue sticker at the back. If you have one of those, it means you can stay in certain places around the country. And that is what we're doing tonight. We're just parked up in a car park. And this is our little van. Right by the water, so we're gonna get in, make some tea, and then hopefully today we can squeeze in through this gap.
Yeah,
we were pushed for space. As you can see,
unfortunately,
it is
someone
so
stole
full.
our spot.
He's not happy about this.
Happy about
yeah,
it.
we were just sort of sizing it up, and then they just drove straight in with a lot smaller van than ours. They were very opportunistic.
And then we've had to squeeze into this tiny spot, which
Yes.
is not a lot of privacy.
No, to be honest, but
So,
I mean,
we're slumming it for one night.
we've got very close neighbours. Everyone, it is Sunday today. Oh, that was a big roll time stretch when I put my arm out. And we are just in the queue to get on the ferry. Basically, we've got on the 8:15 a.m. ferry. It's not going to go at 8:15. It's about 8:15 now. We've been waiting in the queue for a while. We checked in about an hour before, and we are now. Woo! Maybe this is not a good time to film. Resume later.
Middle dick.
Up a dick. Little.
Middle.
Little dick.
Middle.
So I'm going to carry on with what we were saying earlier, because I'm aware we got interrupted by the bumpy ground when we were going up the ferry. I think what I was saying was that the ferry's been cancelled for a few days now because of the wind. So when it gets really, really windy, essentially I think what happens is that they cancel the ferries just because it's too dangerous to cross. And instead of just rebook you onto the next available one, they just give you a full refund, which I feel like it'd just be quite stressful. Anyway, we were basically, I think, one of the first ferries to resume the like normal timetable after it had got really, really windy. They've been cancelled. So we're on it now. I'll insert a few clips of us leaving Wellington and what you can see around. I think the day's sort of okay. It's a little bit cloudy, and apparently normally it's really, really pretty crossing. So you can see as you cross both islands, there's little sort of like the strait in between, and we always get a really pretty view. Also editing this, well actually like 2 weeks ago almost now, is weekly vlog. So I'm a little bit behind, so I'm frantically trying to do a little bit of editing. Had a coffee, Tom's had a full breakfast. I'll do a little bit of a ferry tour as well and show you around. But they park you up and then you have to get out your vehicle, so it's not like the English Channel crossing where you can stay on. You have to get out. It does cost around $300, so that's a good point to note, but I was going to say it takes around 3 hours, so it's quite long. So it's a good stint of time. One thing I would say is there's not many plugs, so we've obviously been in the van for the past few days and haven't been able to plug or charge anything, so we have tried to seize the opportunity here and we found a plug luckily. But all in all, it's been a pretty smooth procedure getting on. We got a table, got a coffee, all is good. Excuse the appearance, but we have decided to do a little bit of wine tasting today. We have come to Renwick, which is just outside of Blenheim. So we've got the ferry to Picton, but we'd stay in the area just for a day whilst the weather is so gorgeous. So we've come to one of the many wineries here in this region. Renwick is so accessible for so many different wineries, and we've got a little map here. I'll give you a close up in a second of where they all are. But we parked up our van and we are at Forest Winery, and we've just had a tasting flight. What's so great about here is that there's lots and lots of cycle trails, but you can also use them as walking trails as well, and where you can hire a bike and do a day-long wine tour and just go around to just as many as you want. It says there's over 25 cellar rooms, so you can do tasting over 25 of the 150 vineyards here, and the ones we've had here have been really nice. And this vineyard itself we've actually stumbled on has live music today, so we've just had a bit of a break now, and he stopped playing, but really chill vibe. We got a food hut at the front. So glad that we decided to stop and do this, and we just knew that soon it'd be sort of the off season for the vineyards, so it's really good that we've managed to do that today. This one is a Forest Pinot Noir, so their own Pinot Noir. Ooh, that smells really rich. Because Pinot Noir is like a red but not a red, is that right? Give it a go.
It's the whitest red.
Very dry compared to a lot of the whites. A lot of the whites we've had are very fruity, but that one's very dry. Anyway, still nice though, just different, you know, when you go switch from a red and a white, different vibes. So we just plonked ourselves on these bean banks, and I'm facing the cellar. This gorgeous building, all around to be like, yeah, American, Victorian, like manor house. Oh, it's so beautiful. These are the grounds. So you can see there's like little lawn games there, a fountain in the middle. It's so peaceful. I cannot believe how quiet it is. And the lady at the other vineyard did say that it was a lot quieter than it had been. It works at this vineyard, instead of just getting a selection and that they choose for you, you can actually choose your own. So we had menus that had about maybe 15 different varieties on, and then you just chose 5 of them, and then they bring you those. So it's a really nice way actually when you know sort of what wines you like and you don't, you can just choose quite selectively, and then you sort of know that you're going to get a palette and a selection that you really enjoy. Honestly, I cannot wait to do this again. We were just saying that we really wish that we had more time. We don't. We've got our van booked in for a service, not tomorrow but the next day, so we're leaving tomorrow for Christchurch, which is such a shame, but we're definitely going to come back and do this in the summer next time, or spring summer, and just do a full day where you can rent the bikes, just go between different wineries, drink loads of wine, and yeah, just spend a full day doing it. Just stopped at the side of, I think it's Highway 1, and it is absolutely beautiful. And it's Tom going for a little bathe in the sea. I didn't realise he was doing this, so I've just wandered down without my swimming stuff on. You've got the mountains in the background. The road literally runs parallel to this, so it runs right beside. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go have a little paddle in my feet and see how chilly it is. I think Tom's questioning his decision. We didn't think the waves looked too bad, so we went for a little wade, and then there was a double wave and it proper sprayed up, and now my bum's wet, so I half went in then as well. It wasn't actually as cold as what I thought it was. Well, when you've got no choice and it's crashing towards you, it's a little bit different. So yeah, sort of successful / unsuccessful mission. So we're on the way back to Christchurch, and we just made a quick stop in Kaikoura, and it's such a shame we're not going to be staying for too long today because the weather is so beautiful, but also there is so many things you can do, namely whale watching. Kaikoura is famous for whale watching. Oh, so many pretty butterflies. Whale watching, but also seal colonies and dolphins as well. So we've actually seen some dolphins jumping out of the water, but it's so beautiful. We're just going on a walk around the peninsula. I think it's just an out and back loop, but we've parked our car in the car park at the bottom, going for a little wander and just seeing the beautiful scenery. And we're nearly back at the car. You can just see our blue van in the car park. I just think this is honestly was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Like the blue water, the mountainous backdrop, and a tom. So before we leave, we'll just go try and do a bit of dolphin spotting, and then we're heading back to Christchurch today, and then we'll be on the road again. So unfortunately no Kaikoura stopover tonight, but the weather has been so good to us. It's supposed to really turn tomorrow, so I'm glad we were able to come. Hello everyone, it is Wednesday today, and there's been a few days of radio silence. I'm really sorry. I don't know where we're up to in this weekly vlog. I've sort of lost track a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But we've had a busy few days just getting things sorted with the van, and we brought it back to Christchurch on Monday after going to Kaikoura, so you probably will have seen that. And we then got it serviced yesterday, so it's been in, needs a few things doing to it, not immediately, but we're going to try and get it in if we can just before we leave Christchurch tomorrow. And today is going to be a bit of a DIY crafty van day, just getting it homey, how we want it, sorting a few things out. So I've just been to Tom's Emporium. People that watch last vlogs will be familiar with Tom's Emporium, to get some material to make a couple of curtains for two really small black windows. So it's raining at the moment, so I'm going to try and keep it dry in a sec, but this is the material, this is the colour we've gone for. The van is blue, and on the inside there's quite a lot of blue curtains at the moment, but I was going for like a bit of a green vibe on the inside. Oh, this weather, that's another thing. Anyway, for that in a second. But yeah, we really wanted to sort of keep it in keeping with what's already there, but also add our own little twist. So we've gone for I'd say like a aqua colour for those little curtains. I mean, they're only going to be so small. And today I'm going to try and make a little like a blind, a makeshift blind for the top skylight or sunroof. So I'm going to try and do that today as well. Also, I mean, I get it's the most British thing ever to talk about the weather, so I'm sorry, but it has been absolutely miserable here in Christchurch since we arrived, and then all of yesterday. It's just been tipping it down with rain, and like torrential. Like, I was so glad we went in the van yesterday, just because it was like hailing last night. I've never heard anything like it. I think the roofs are made of like more like corrugated iron on a lot of the places where we're staying, but it was grim, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm gonna get in now because it's coming down, you can tell, and I'll pick up the camera when I'm in the dry. So this is the roof light in question, which is quite large. So I have some material that I'm going to use to do that. These windows back here, the ones on the far right, are the ones that I'm going to try and cover with the material I've just bought. So I'm going to try and measure them. The DIYers out there are not going to be impressed because I'm trying to do it without a measuring tape. I'm going to try and use the app on my phone. This could be a terrible idea. I'm so sorry. I really thought we had a measuring tape back here and we don't, so. Hello everyone, it is Thursday today. Probably lost track of days this week, and we are in the midst of basically just sorting our lives out yet again. Feels like we're just upping sticks and leaving just like we did 2 months ago when we left the UK, but we're doing the same from our base in Christchurch. So this is our state of affairs at the moment. This is a lot more organised than what it was earlier, but we're essentially just trying to organise everything as best as we can so that when we're in the van we can access things easily. So Tom, for example, is putting all the stuff he'll think he'll need like in the next few months in here, and then stuff that he doesn't think he'll need in there, and I've sort of done the same with stuff I don't think I need in here, and then stuff I think I'll need in there. Quite an endeavour. I feel like there's lots of moving parts today, things we've got to get done, like a food shop, like putting everything into the van, like having one final hot shower for a everything in general is going really well. I'll show you a few of the amendments that I spoke to you about yesterday really quickly, like the curtains. They got done. Tom used his DIY mastery to attach some fasteners, so hopefully we can get those in today, and then everything will be pretty much ready to go. So excited to finally like see everything in our van. It's like everything's been here in this flat and now it's going in there, so it will finally sort of start today. We had a taste of it the past few days, but it definitely wasn't on this scale. So this is before going in the van. Hello everyone, it's the evening now and we are finally on the road. I'll say finally, today has gone so quick and it's felt so short, and we've just been so busy doing different things. Like, it just takes so much longer, doesn't it, to just sort things out. What else have we done? We've cleaned the van. We packed. We hoovered the van.
Yeah, fully cleaned it.
Yeah, we did fully clean it, but I also cleaned some of it yesterday. So So honestly, I'll finish the curtains, fix those. Just been absolutely manic. Like, it just feels like we hardly had a chance to sit down. We're finally on the road. Like I said, we are going to Peel Forest tonight. So Peel Forest is near, actually, I think a little bit further away from where we're going. We're going to Peel Forest Campground, which is a dock campground, which is quite a nice one, apparently. We have bought a year-long round dock camping pass, which means that we can use a lot of the dock sites now unlimited. We paid £100, so almost $200, and we can rock up at lots of them. It was just quite stressful at the end. We were hoping to go back and see Laura and Nate before we set off, but we weren't able to. We were rushing around, pack and save, like we were on supermarket sweep, but luckily I think we've got everything, touch wood. I mean, there's nothing at the moment that we've realised that we've forgotten, so we'll soon see. And even if we have, it's safe at Laura's house, and we're actually going to be seeing her in a few weeks' time anyway when we go away with her. So yes, we can relax a little bit now. Hello from future me. I've just been editing this vlog and realised that I did not film an end clip. I'm getting really bad because I did that on the last video too. But if you've stuck around to the end, thank you so much. I know this vlog has been a pretty long one, but next week we'll probably have a bit of a shorter video because we are filming our van tour. Also give you a bit of an update about what life has been like on the road. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. You can also hit the bell button and then you'll be notified when that video goes up. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.